Hey guys, how are we doing? Welcome to the live preview. I am live from Las Vegas, Nevada. You can see in the background there, or that side, that is the New York. You can see down here, that is the T-Mobile Arena right there. Now this is an impromptu live, so apologies for the lack of notice, but I've just got back to the hotel room, and I do know, I think there is an hour before the main card starts over there in Australia. It's 4 o'clock here in the afternoon, so the main card kicks off at 6. So not much probably going on. The undercard I think started at 3, but I think there's like 10 fights on the card. So I think I've said on here before, I'm not that stressed about missing a few of the undercard fights. I've just actually got back from the MGM, excuse me, where I ran into Glenn Jennings, of all people. I went there to actually meet with DStyle. If you're not sure who DStyle is, and actually as I'm going there, I'm just going to pull out, where are we? I've just got, bear with me there, guys. I've got a charger somewhere. I don't know where I've put it. Anyway, no, I don't know. I'm just for my light here. But I've got a couple of people there. If you've got a comment there, guys, make sure you put it in the chat. So I just got back from the MGM. As I said, I went there to meet with DStyle from DStyle Boxing's channel. Eric's his actual real name. And ran into Glenn Jennings, of all people. So, and if you've ever been to Vegas for a big fight, you'll know it's a lobby bar right next door to, the main lobby. And it's where everyone sort of, if you're a boxing fan, if you're there at a boxing event, that's where everyone seems to meet. So we're there today. I saw the Rose Boys over yonder. They're preparing as well. And Glenn Jennings came over for a chat, which was really good. I actually got an interview with him that I will upload to YouTube. Really informative, impromptu interview, I will say. I didn't expect to get an interview with him, but he came down and sat down for a Coke and we had a chat. Who's in the chat there? I've got Mitch Cook, pump mate. Hope you're having an unreal time over there. Well, I am, mate. It's been really good. Obviously a disappointing result last night for Liam Wilson. And I was actually on the same flight as Liam, flying from Phoenix to Las Vegas today. And I just had a quick hello. He looked pretty banged up, did Liam. But he's going to have I think a couple of days here in Vegas and then head home and rest up and see what's next. Glenn did actually say that there's some interesting, maybe some domestic fights for Liam. I'm not really sure which ones he was exactly talking about, so maybe stay tuned with that. But look, I think Liam's just got to as I said, have a good rest and then really decide what's next. I think it's stacking up that he will be back, and let's hope so. He's only 28 years old, and I think if he can get his mindset in order as far as the way he sort of loses track a little bit in fights, I think he'll be a lot better fighter. And the word I sort of got from them, there might be some wheels in motion for that as well. So who we got there? Mr. Pads. Big up, Lyndon, my bra. Epic fights. Thanks, mate. Nice to have you along. Epic view there. Can see the T-Mobile behind me. Yeah, well, there it is right there. I can't really... Actually, let's have a look there. There it is. There is the view down there, guys. You can see people already lining up. You can see there the MGM. There's there's New York over there, Excalibur. But yeah, that is the T-Mobile Arena right down there. Okay. Is that right? Mendoza's fighting now. Okay, well, we'll keep it to about 45 minutes to an hour. That's really early, Mendoza. So I'm gathering the undercard fights have started, although it's only 10 o'clock in the morning over there, and I'm pretty sure the card or the televised card doesn't start until 11. And let me know if I'm wrong there. But okay, so they must have the 4 title fights after that. So I'd say one will be on at 11, and they'll probably just have the 3 main fights on from 6 o'clock, I would say, or noon your time. What's that, Mitch? What are your final predictions for Zarafa, Rolly, and Tim's fight? Unsure on Zarafa result, Rolly decision, and Tim round 6 to 8 for me. Well, it's funny. I actually just ran into Rolly Romero in the foyer at the MGM. I don't really want to keep name dropping here, but yeah, I was just coming from. I went and checked out the ring in the four, and if you've been to Vegas, everyone has to go to the ring, and so I went down there, and I didn't get myself here or anything. I got a little bit of vision, but yeah, as I was walking back through, Rolly and his team must have been getting ready to go over to the arena, and they were there. So I think it's on my Instagram if you want to check that out. But my predictions, look. Of course, we want the Aussies to win. You know, we're Aussies. You know, I think with Tim, I think he gets the job done. I think Sebastian Fundora. I think my view on the fight is that it might be a little bit similar to last night's fight with Liam Wilson and Oscar Valdez in that I think Fundora, if he uses his reach and leverage and height and everything else against Tim early, like Liam did last night against Oscar Valdez, he can have some success. But if he falls into the same trap as what Liam did last night against Valdez, then we could have the same result in that fight. But I think Sebastian Fundora, I think he will try and box a little bit early. He might land a few punches. Tim can start slowly sometimes, but I think that as the fight goes on, I think as Tim closes the distance, finds his range, I can see a big overhand right or something ending Fundora. And look, he might go to the body as well. But I think either way, for me, I'm not sure 6 to 8. Well, that's probably not a bad prediction there, Mitch. I'm probably thinking more, maybe 9, 10, which is neither here nor there, I suppose. I'm thinking maybe around 9. Tim will get the job done, maybe 10 over Fundora. The other fights, I actually think Isaac Cruz can upset Rolly. I'm going to stick with Rolly being the champion just for now. Flip-flopped a little bit back and forth about who I think is actually going to win that fight, but it should be a really good fight. I don't know. I'll say Romero, but your guess is as good as mine, Mitch. I can see either one of them winning it, to be honest. And Zarafa, look, of course we want the Aussie to win, but if you want my honest opinion, I probably think Lara still has enough in the tank. I know a lot's been made of him being 40 years old and hasn't been overly active, but you've got to look at Michael Zarafa. Hasn't been active either. He hasn't fought for, 14, 15 months, whatever. Might even be longer, 16 months since he's fought. And the quality of opposition the guys have fought. I know Zarafa's fought Jeff Horn, but that's probably his only big names lately. I know he's fought Cal Brook a few years ago, but it was probably a little bit out of his depth at the time. So I just think Lara, take the age out of it, still looks in really good condition. I just think if an 80% version of Lara turns up, unfortunately, I think he's going to be a bit slick for Michael Zarafa. But look, one thing I've said all along, I've been really impressed with Michael Zarafa's whole outlook on this fight. He hasn't, apart from a few bits and pieces here and or there, I was actually amused that he said his fight was bigger than Tim's, but that's a different story. But I think that he's carried himself really well. I think I said on one of the lives that I think he knows his place on the card and hasn't got too far out of line and tried to be a little bit controversial, which I know he can be, but I think he's just carried himself really well, and let's hope he can get the job done. I've just got a feeling in the guts, Mitch, that Lara just might still have a little bit too much for Michael Zarafa, but we'll see. Because my thing with Michael's always been just his performance against elite fighters at this level. And I know Jeff Horn obviously was with, that was a great win over Jeff back in 2019. But the facts are that when Jeff and Zarafa fought in the rematch, that apart from that scary 9th round, Jeff pretty much dominated that fight. And then we've obviously seen him fight Peter Quillen and Cal Brook, even though they were a while ago. So I'm just still a little bit unsure about how Michael's going to perform at the level. Let's hope he steps up and performs really well. But as I said, I've just got a feeling that Lara might have a bit too much for him there. So just looking down there, not much activity down there at the moment. I'll keep you up to date. But so a little bit update what I've been up to. So didn't get a lot of sleep last night. I'll say I didn't get to bed till about 2. I had to be up at 7 to catch the plane, and luckily it wasn't delayed, which I was a little bit worried about. I was sort of dreading that I might have to jump in a car and drive to Las Vegas, but thankfully, it was on time. I did see a few of the boys there last night in Phoenix. In Glendale. I saw Sam Goodman was there with his manager and a few of his friends. The George Rose, of course, and all the Rose boys were there. And there were a few Aussies spread out around the venue, but today I've seen a lot of Aussies getting around. So I think there'll be a fair old contingent for Tim Tszyu. I'm actually sitting in the Tim Tszyu section, so I'm sure there'll be a lot of Aussies there hoping Tim can get the job done. What I will say here, though, it's bloody cold. It's only 14 degrees here in Las Vegas. Now, last time I was here last July, it was about 40. I'm not sure what that is in Celsius. Is that like 110 or something? Fahrenheit. Is that like 110 or something like that? So, so I'm not quite sure what's happening here. It's been raining and people are walking around with jackets, which I've just never seen here before. But having said that, I've never been here in March either. So I've just got a couple of messages there. All right, guys, if you've got any questions or comments, put them in the chat there. We won't be too long. I understand everyone's pretty excited, but I just thought I'd jump on and see if anyone wants to have a quick chat. What do you guys think out there? There's a couple of you out there watching, half a dozen or so. I know we'll probably get a few later, but let me know your predictions. Mitch, what do you got there? So you've got roll with decision, Tim round 6 to 8. Not sure on Zarafa. St Kilda 1, 2, 3. What are you thinking there, mate? So Mendoza's obviously in there now. So that would mean, so he should be finished. I would say he'll be done by 11 a.m. your time in Australia, which probably makes sense because then the main card starts, or does it? Hang on, let me just check my app. Okay, 11 a.m. All right. So the first world title fight must be at 11 a.m. Okay, and then the three main ones. So, all right. Well, I won't muck around too long in here. We'll get onto it. But anything else you guys want to talk about? Let me know. Again, like last night, I did do the review of Liam Wilson last night. And I think even talking to Glenn about it just before, I think they understand and realise where Liam's, maybe breaking down a little bit. We saw that when he boxed from range and used his reach, used his speed. He actually did really, really well, I thought, early, and then he just fell into the trap of going into the trenches with Oscar Valdez. So I think from what I'm gathering from the conversation I had with Glenn is that they might look at hopefully addressing that aspect of his game. And I think if he gets that right, he's definitely a chance, because let's face it, when he was doing what he does, he actually had a lot of success. And it wasn't until he started to trade with Valdez that it all fell down. So he's got to get self-organised there. So on to today's fight. So again, not much activity over there. Actually, not much activity at all. But again, as I said, the main prelims have just started, and I don't know what is the actual card there, guys. I should know this, shouldn't I? Let's have a quick look. All right. I'll bring it up there, guys. Where are we? All right, here we go. So we've got the other one. That's right. Julio Cesar Martinez, Angelino Cordova will be a really good fight. Brian Mendoza, Sergey Boachuk. Now, I'm actually spewing that's on now. Would like to have seen that. Arsen Gulamirion, Gilberto Ramirez, and then looks like the other three fights, of course. So I'd say Lara, Zarafa will be first, then Ramiro Cruz, and then Tszyu and Fundora will be obviously the last fight. So 2, 4, 6 fights. I thought there was actually more on the card. Oh, there is. Okay, so it's 2, 4, 6. So there was 10 fights. Does anyone know how Kermel Moton went, guys? Because he can fight. I've seen a bit of him. He's a good fighter. Who the other one? Adrian Neve, Stephen Walker, Justin Valoria, Eric Garcia Benitez, Capo Galijos, Eric Howard. So I don't really know any of those guys. So I'm pretty happy I didn't actually go over there. So we'll wait for the four big fights. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm not sure if that's all we're going to get today. We won't stress too much about being on here too long if that's the case. But I just thought I'll jump on in case anyone wanted to have a chat about the fights. As I said, I'll head over What is it? In probably about an hour and a half's time. Well, actually, it might be earlier than that now because if Mendoza's on, I'll try and get there early and be there by about 5 o'clock here in the US or in Las Vegas. So I wish I could bring you better news as far as everything goes here, but yeah, the weather's not overly great. And of course, Liam losing last night wasn't a great setting either. But we'll get into it as we go, guys. I'll be back later on this evening, American or Las Vegas time. So I'm pretty sure the fight's, I think it's about 9 here. So it'll be about 3 o'clock your time. So it'll be all over by 4 o'clock. So we might jump on at 5:30, whatever time I get back here, and we can have a chat about it then. But I think we'll leave it at that. There's only a few is in the chat. I won't bore you with just me sitting here talking for however long. But again, my predictions, I think Mendoza will win the fight is in now, by the way. And then I think, I'll just go over it again. I think Martinez beats Cordova. I think Lara beats Zarafa. Unfortunately, I think I'll stick with Romero over Cruz, and of course Tim Tszyu over Sebastian Fundora. So thanks for the half a dozen of you guys and girls or whoever out there that tuned in already. I should have given it a little bit more time. It was a last minute decision, so apologies that I didn't put it on a notice on YouTube or anything like that or Instagram. But as I said, I just got back to the hotel room and thought I would go live for whoever wanted to come on for a quick chat. All right, guys, so we'll leave it at that. Have a great day watching the fights. There's some really, really good fights on the card. Hope you enjoy it, and hopefully we might see you in a few hours' time. Have a good one.